Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people? It's Doorshutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of All of Fabric 6. Man, it has been a long while since I've played this pack, but we are here. We're going to be enjoying this. This is episode 7, and I can't wait to get into this. So, first things first, we're making some geothermal generators, or thermal generators in this case, as they're called here. These will use lava to actually produce power. And of course, in the last episode, we worked on getting lava generation set up here. And so we're going to put 2 of these down. We're actually going to come over here. And I think... Let's see, how do I want to do this? So I basically want to have that tank pipe into both of these. So I'm kind of thinking... this does carry over. Perfect. So place that there most likely. Place the fluid hopper here. Place that there. And let's see. So we should have some sort of fluid pipe. We have the Industrial Revolution one here. Maybe? Just requires quite a bit of iron. So let's grab some iron here. Grab a couple cauldrons. I think this is a little excessive on the recipe, by the way. Because that's definitely not the normal recipe for it. I don't know why they've changed it to include this. Because basically you could just use these hoppers. But for right now, we're going to try and use the fluid pipes because I've never used them. Let's see here. Output servo. We'll just place that there. Place that there. Oh, and there's no actual right-click ability with that. Okay. So that is going to start giving us power. And of course, this just activated because that redstone signal. But you can see that we are flooding this with items because of how that botany pot was. Which I don't know if I like too much. Because it is kind of getting a little bit in there, but that's alright. Next thing we need to look at is actually getting this being able to be used with these machines, right? Because I'm pretty sure if we look at this, we have the compressor, which is a tier low, right? That's kind of what we're looking at. So we got tier medium, tier low. The tiers, I believe, if this is anything like IC2, we need some sort of transformer. We do have a medium voltage transformer here. So input rate medium, this is what we'd want, this LV transformer right here. So let's dispose of this, let's dispose of that. Let's press A on this. That's, by the way, if you don't know how to do this, just hover over the gray box, not this, and just press A. And that way it'll actually be there. And of course, to get rid of it, you could just press A. You don't have to drag it. That's one of the cool things about REI is it actually allows you to do that. And then, of course, if you have all the items, you can come up here and you can actually craft it without clicking on it. I just don't do that all the time. Even though I could. Definitely would be simpler. But sometimes I forget about it. So there you go. See, now we have the LV transformer. And we can put this... I think we're going to put that right there. And then we're going to go... So you can see here as well, the cables are medium tier. So if we look at cable, there's a few different tiers, which there's tier insane, which glass fiber cable is the best outright. It is expensive, but it is the best outright. Besides apparently this, which we're never going to touch, most likely, because that's excessive. But this is like the most average cable that you'll touch, right? This is just ridiculous. This is what you'll go for. But there is, of course, the insulated copper, insulated gold, and then the insulated HV. I would always kind of shoot for this in IC2 at least. So I didn't even know this was a thing. But yeah. So the tin cable, which is this right here, is the low tier. Which I didn't even know there was a low tier cable. I thought the copper was a low tier, honestly. But But yeah, so let's get that placed here. So this shouldn't affect anything. And then when we place the insulated copper there, could we do a bat box or something like that? Do we have something? Yeah, right there, battery box. So we do have something like that, which is the only tier that we have. Okay, that kind of sucks, but oh well. Let's go back upstairs real fast. Grab some lead that I've been smelting down. But the battery box is basically a storage, power storage. So that's kind of why I want to grab some. So let's see. So we'll grab a battery box. So this has a max energy of 40k. Definitely not the biggest, but that's okay. And this is a tier low. So if we place that on a medium line, I think that would blow up. So let's try getting down here real quick. We're going to put our machines up in the house still. That's why I have this hole here. But we should be able to place this here. And that's not doing anything. Hold on. Oh, do I need a wrench? I don't think I've made a Tech Reborn wrench yet, have I? What material is that? Bronze? Okay, let's dig through real quick. Do I have any bronze? I do. Quickly grab a wrench. I think this is what we want to be able to pop this off perfectly. Okay, and then here. Okay, so this is connecting. I thought it wasn't for a second. Put that there. Okay, so I see that we can rotate this. Hold on. So do we need to make sure that the config... Yes, okay, so this just needs to be hit on the bottom. So that way it accepts power. That's fine. So now I'm curious, can I take the battery box and put it here? Okay, I can. Fantastic. So we should then be able to get the insulated copper cable and start going up here. Right? And then we should be able to kind of start our machine placement. I really should grab some dirt here just so I can fill this in a little. Perfect. Okay. And so I should be able to come over here and grab these machines. So compressor, extractor, grinder, and we should be able to take out this generator and all this iron alloy furnace. We'll just move that. Okay, let's get this stuff changed up here a little bit. So this will allow for us to, of course, just have a little bit overall a better power system. We're not using coal anymore. We're just straight up using lava power generation, which is fantastic. Okay, so let's actually quickly grab copper cable, which is right here. And of course, we'll want to get better machines as time goes on. We still aren't to that level as of current, but that's okay. Let's see. Can I get rid of just a handful of this stuff? I want the dirt, but I don't want 2 stacks on me. Where did that last plank go? I think it probably was put down here, because I cut that hole in the floor earlier. Okay. So yeah, that is a better power generation system. So that is fantastic. Let's also clear this up. So we've got a little bit of power storage, as well as kind of an automated power system. This holds 1 million, right? So we kind of have a buffer of 2,040,000, I think, round about there, for power generation. And of course, once we get the better tier machines and everything, we won't need that LV transformer, which is fine. But that's awesome. Okay, so let's clear that out. And I really want to get into this bronze macerator, but I don't really know if I want to get into modern industrialization just yet. But I kind of want to get a powered furnace of some sort from Tech Reborn. Do we have anything like that? Let's see, furnace. So we do have an electric furnace that we could look into. We also have the industrial blast furnace, which is just a little bit more than what I'm looking for right now. Let's see if we can grab one of these real quick. So we need some more insulated copper cable, huh? So we should be able to grab this. Let's put some of that away. Quickly, I wanted to mention that I added just another mining dimension, or just a mining dimension, the jammed mod. This is available on Forge and Fabric. You just kind of need to look at the JAMD mod from CurseForge. There is one called JAMD Fabric. That is not the correct version. They did put it with the actual Forge version, so you just need to look for the Fabric version. The recipe I did add, by the way, because for some reason the portal to the mining dimension was just a diamond pickaxe. I know in the Forge version it is this recipe here, so I just went ahead and I've altered that so that way we are able to kind of keep it consistent with Forge a little bit and not have too cheap of a recipe. But yeah, if you don't know what this is, we can quickly right click on this here. It'll take a second. And we'll be transported like into the nether. Oh, this actually has bushier flowers, which is kind of interesting. I believe that's what this mod is called, right? Yeah, that's not normal, but oh well. I don't know the generation of the fabric kind of mod loader, so we'll go with it. But we should be able to find some resources in here. I don't know if we need to run any command to update the overworld generation type of thing. Let's see. Yeah, it don't look like we have any source of... Oh, hey, right here, actually. Mining generation. This should be... I don't think this actually tells you, but we're going to go with this one, the mining generation. So this spawns things at Y level 1 or deep slate, which is Y level -60, so basically bedrock. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. We're not going to do mining right now. I just wanted to show you guys that we've added that mod and altered it just a little bit to make it a little bit more balanced. Alright, so let's get back into our regularly scheduled program here. So we're looking at an electric furnace. So we're looking at this right here. So we want to be able to get one of these, electric furnace. So we need an iron furnace, which requires a normal furnace. So let's actually just quickly take this furnace. So once this is done, we're going to take this furnace. Just, you know, with this wrench, it's going to be a lot easier to just do that. But did that store items? It does. Okay, so we just need to be cautious whenever we're doing stuff like that. That's fine by me. Okay, so electric furnace. That should be everything we need. It's just because it's got some stored data. That's why it's not REIing enough. So let's do that. Let's do this. This will give us an electric furnace. And then, of course, we can place this down upstairs. Let's just put a hole in the floor. Grab some dirt. Put that there. Electric furnace. And then that way, of course, we don't have to fully worry about that too much. But it looks like it's actually not getting power, which is concerning. Okay, so hold on. Let's go down to the bat box. Let's see. So I see that there is this little piece right there. Does that do anything for us, or do we need to activate that on the bottom? Okay, so that looks like it works, but my question now is, did that do what we needed it to? Man, these things are so slow. We're going to have to look at overclocker upgrades here in a little while. That's kind of one of the things with getting better power is we can start looking at that because we don't have to worry about throwing coal in here or anything like that. We can kind of just start moving towards that. But it looks like it's keeping charged. So that looks like it worked properly. Okay. So, what would we need for an overclocker upgrade? That is a big question. There's several different recipes, and of course, some of these give you multiple, but these are a little bit more expensive than what we're looking for right now. So doing this kind of recipe here at this very bottom, which requires 10k water cells, is just 10 water buckets, and those give you 10k. Or you could, of course, do solid canning, which looks like a water cell and 210, which actually would be cheaper on the 10 side at least. Let's clear this stuff out real fast. Hold on. Okay. But we also, of course, have the 60k, which looks like it requires potassium. And that's a whole other ball game. This one requires sodium. So they both require potassium and sodium. So we're going to go for the 10k. But I think we'll go with getting this solid canning machine here, which is a little bit of an expense. But it looks like we could possibly do that here. Let's quickly grab... What did we think? 7 refined plates. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's the wrong machine. I just realized that. Hold on. We want the compressor. Yes, to make plates. And then once we get the plates, we will then make the piece that we need to get the solid canning machine, which we'll add the recipe here. Also, if you don't know, adding multiple, it just pushes the other one off that's behind it. And then when you clear it, it'll actually bring that one back. So just keep that in mind. But we also need an iron gear, which I have 1. Okay. So yeah, let me be right back. Alrighty. So we got the solid canning machine. Just went ahead and quickly crafted that off camera. We should now be good to start placing this down. Solid canning machine. So the one thing that we need to notice is that we also need water cells, which do require a little bit of stuff here. But let's look up water cell, see if we can actually find it here. Water cell, is it actually not just going to be normal here? It's right there. I'm wondering why. Is there no way to just pump it in? Interesting. I was just kind of curious. I know we need 10 to make these cells, but the cells are reusable. They're basically like a miniature water bucket, I think. So let's just grab about 4 stacks of these cells. And let's go grab some water here. Do I have a sink in any capacity in here? I'm surprised I haven't made one yet. Hold on. Do I have the ability to make one as of current? We should. We should have the ability to make one. Would this work? Okay, so this does not work. One of the things I kind of want to test is with a granny sink, but that requires concrete. So we won't do that just yet here. Let's go down to the water here. And I love how these stack as well. Okay. And I think you can just deploy these like normal water buckets. So that's a pretty cool thing. I think I just knocked out my sugarcane. Oh no. I didn't. That's interesting. I thought sugarcane was pushable by water, but I guess it's not. I honestly don't mess with water and sugarcane that much, so alright, anyway, water cells. We've got these. Now what we need to do is get 10 and this should give us 10k water coolant cells. So this will be 32 of these. And I think we'll probably want to do at least 2 for some machines. Not all of the machines, but some of them. So that way we can kind of increase the speed at which they operate. So for example, compressor, electric furnace. I'm not really worried about the extractor or the grinder. So electric furnace, compressor, and then maybe the solid canning machine, just so we can pump these out just a little bit quicker. So that should be pretty cool. And I don't think you get the 10k cells back, but I'm not 100% sure. So that'll be something to definitely look at here. Let's see. So I'll just grab 2 of those, 2 of these, and then let's put one in here for right now. Oop. So that way it does look like it actually increases the capacity. Time decrease, energy per tick increase. Decreases crafting time, the cost of more energy used per tick. Okay. So let's toss this in here. And it's, yeah, so it does increase that as well. All right. So it looks like it's pretty decently quick. Well, let's throw in 2. So that does increase it to 3K. And it's definitely not that fast, but it is definitely better. Definitely. We need to look at the piercing Paxels mod. I've noticed that it's in here. I just haven't messed with it. But yeah, I mean, that's decently, reasonably quick. I just kind of wonder how much power this is using. I wouldn't expect it to use that much power overall because it is a low tier machine, but I could be wrong. That's another thing. I could be wrong here. No, but it doesn't look like I am. It looks like we're still steady, which is fantastic here. Okay, so we could get a couple chests here to automate that furnace real fast. So let's grab... do I have a couple chests? I do. So we want to put our output on the front, input on the top. So we'll do input in here, so auto input. And then here, output on the front, which is orange. And that way, of course, we can come over here. We can grab all the lead that we have stored in here, and we can start doing that. Of course, once we get a macerator, we'll want to start kind of figuring that out as well. But that won't come for a little while. That was a mistake. Hold on, let me clean that up real quick. Alright, so real quick, I wanted to look at something with this iron alloy furnace. So I'm down here with the villagers real fast, and I wanted to look at the metallurgist person thing, the villager trading. So let's actually not grab out that much, goodness gracious. So let's quickly make up some cobbled deep slate bricks, these things right here. Because I want to kind of keep this consistent, of course. But I don't have a piece of wool on me, so we're just going to send it here. What we'll do is we'll just drop him here. Put the monster ball there. He'll instantly become a metallurgist, which is fantastic. And then what these guys can trade is kind of useful. So here's a whole bunch of different ores you can trade for. But if we cycle through here, you can see that you can get rubber from this guy, which is a pretty decent trade. And I'm kind of just going to cycle through this a few times here. It doesn't look like it changes that much, but I just wanted to cycle so we can actually check that out. But we can go for this rubber trade here. And once he gets to the next tier here, we should see that we're able to get bronze and brass, which is fantastic. If we actually look here at the alloy furnace, this is the iron alloy furnace. This is the one we've been using. We can actually check out, there's a handful of trades here, and one of them is like the advanced alloy, one is the advanced circuit. There's a chance of getting the electronic circuit as well. So let's just grab a couple more sticks here. Let's quickly toss all of that on the ground real fast. So I'm going to trade with this guy and see if we can kind of jump a little bit ahead with Tech Reborn by getting some of these other circuits. Worst case scenario, I have to remove this guy and, put him somewhere else, probably in a pit of lava, and try again. I mean, we have a decent stack of villagers right there, so I'm not too worried about trying again. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. So let's go for brass, I think. Do we want... bronze works. Also, this is the wrong type of bronze, I'm pretty sure. So they didn't replace this properly, which is fine. So we'll wait for him to regen. So there's some electrum, carbon fiber even, which is good. But alright, yeah, let me be right back. Let me mess with him, see if I can get some electronic circuits, because honestly, that would be just super helpful, so I don't have to craft them all the time. You can just run over here, grab a handful, and then, you know, in haste kind of thing. All right, so while we didn't get the normal electronic circuit here, we did get advanced, and we got advanced alloys, so I'm fine at where we are with this. So I'm going to toss this monster ball and that monster ball back in. I've added a couple more fletching villagers to get some emeralds, kind of speed this along. But yeah, so we've got a couple advanced circuits, which is fantastic. I also got some bronze, electrum, and the advanced alloy ingots. I grabbed a couple of those because I know those are going to be useful to actually get the alloy furnace that is powered. If we look here, the iron alloy furnace can actually... Is that this one? Yeah, so the alloy smelter here, this thing right here. So not the alloy furnace, the alloy smelter is what I'm talking about. If we get 2 electric furnaces, a basic machine frame, 4 advanced alloy plates, which we can now obtain just by compressing the advanced alloy, a bat box, and an advanced circuit, the basic machine frame, I think I already said that. We should be able to get the alloy furnace, or alloy smelter, my bad, up and running, which is powered. And I think this is actually... Oh, this is actually a low tier, which is interesting. I didn't expect it to be a low tier. I expected it to be medium, because how expensive it really is. I mean, is it really that expensive? Yes, it is, because it requires the mixed alloy ingot. So it is expensive. Okay. Alrighty, so let's head back in here real fast. Let's get that stuff going. This is just doing some flint, by the way. So compressor. We're going to just do all... Let's just do 12. Let's quickly make up a couple of these overclockers here, and I'll be right back. That's why I couldn't find the other battery box. It's because they're the MFE, MFSU, and the interdimensional SU. I forget that they don't go up in tiers like most normal power mods. So if we actually look at Tech Reborn and look at the MFSU, this is like the high tier, and then the MS... what was that called again? I don't really like their names. It's really confusing. I remember that IC2 actually had this naming convention as well, which is what Tech Reborn's based off of. So I can't really fault the mod creator here. But MFE. So this right here. Yeah, so this doesn't require a bat box. That's why I was confused. But yeah, now that we know, it's fine. Dragon Egg Energy Cipher. That thing requires superconductors, energy flow chips, iridium alloy plates, and an MFE. Man, that is nuts. I mean, that doesn't look terrible. It's just kind of crazy. And then, of course, the MFSU. And these do store quite a bit more. Okay. I was just looking through the quest book here because I know we've kind of completed a handful of things. So let's quickly look at this. So Tech Reborn. We got like the advanced alloy plate, which of course can give us the advanced machine frame. The industrial machine frame here. What is this? Superconductor? Okay. Industrial unit upgrader. Advanced unit upgrader. Industrial machine casings. Matter fabricator. Yeah, so there's some pretty cool stuff that we're looking into. Industrial chunk loader. Huh. Distillation, fluid replicator. Whole bunch of goodies in that case. LV transformer. LESU. A battery multi-block that stores energy and charges items. LESU. LESU controller and storage. Oh, that doesn't look too expensive in all honesty. Huh. That might be something we have to look at. Okay, so let's just grab these. So generating power. Oh, this is just asking if you can make the rest of the generators and you get a loot bag. I'm not really worried about that right now. Looks like our inventory is kind of full here. Basic solar panel. Standard machine casings. Okay. The solar panels are actually going to be quite interesting to look at here in the future as well. Ooh, scrap boxes. Which you can just hold right click to open all of these. They just give you a whole bunch of random stuff. It's kind of interesting, not gonna lie. Scrap Boxinator, which I think just opens these. I think. Interesting. Okay, let's just keep going. Look at all this stuff. All the random stuff that you can get from these scrap boxes. Well, it looks like we got a rabbit's foot, some gold, some random odds and ends. Let's go quickly put some stuff away here real quick. All right, so yeah, we definitely got some goodies here. I was quickly looking at this player head. These can be used to give us player plates, player damage plates, which applies damage to whatever stands on top of it, as if it were a player hitting that thing. So if we wanted to get player-specific mob drops, this is an option. It doesn't fully guarantee all player drops, because some mods have a pretty decent check for it. But yeah, we've got a whole bunch of just odds and ends here that are going to be useful. We didn't get a lava bucket from this, by the way. That was just something I already had. But yeah, interesting. Interesting. All right, let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. All right, so that is the alloy smeltery completed here. Just quickly, crafting it. I'm loving how we kind of skipped a little bit of a step to get to this. And that is fantastic here. All right, let's grab an axe. Let's grab a little bit of dirt here as well. Where is my thing? There it is. Dank? Is that what it's called? Yes, Dank. I just completely forgot the name of it for a second there. Alloy smelter. And this should get charged up nice and quickly. Okay, so with the alloy smelter, of course, we have a little bit more of options to get, resources without using coal. Now we're using pure lava, which is fantastic. This is actually a decent recipe for netherite. I wouldn't say it's the best, but of course, getting 3 of these would require, I believe, 12 per piece, 3 pieces, so 4 and 4. This is technically 4, 4, and then 2, right? Because you've got 8 and then add 2, you get 10. So this is actually saving you a couple pieces of netherite scrap, and also, of course, some gold ingots. So that's definitely a decent option. I don't know if that's the option that I would go with, because, of course, you'd need to have 10 netherite scrap to get that far. But, I mean, we could quickly look at this here real fast. Netherite ingots. Of course, we do have the netherite essence, which I would probably assume is a premium, right? It's not going to be cheap. Yeah. Let's see, what other options? So, of course, there's that option. Withered Demon Heart. That sounds terrifying. The Implosion Compressor. Doodly-doo. Electric Mixer. Furnace. So that is actually a decent option. More so than the other one, which is this Electric Mixer. So it actually looks like modern industrialization would give us the best bang for our buck. But of course, we have to remember how expensive this actually is. Because, I mean, these are 10 rotors. Those aren't too terrible. Hell, and let's actually quickly bookmark this mixer real fast so we can check out the recipe here. So you've got the analog circuits, which require copper wires, which require wire mills. It's basically get into industrial or modern industrialization quite heavily, and I don't know if I'm really prepared for that right now because we're still messing with Tech Reborn. So we'll probably stick with that option for now, and we'll kind of mosey on along that way here in the future. But yeah, so I mean, we've made some pretty decent progress today with Tech Reborn here, and I mean there's a lot we have not touched on. Right, we're still processing, we're still going. This is going to be definitely a fun thing to keep looking into. A data storage core. What is this? Data storage chip. What in the world? Oh, the quantum tanks and storage units. That's what this is. But I'm kind of curious. Why is there so much? Like, there's a Tech Reborn computer cube. A player detector. I was thinking there's kind of like a storage system or something, but it doesn't look like that's the case in this one. In this instance. It'd be cool if there was, but I don't think there is. Huh. Interesting. Something to look at. Definitely, definitely. But with that, we're going to wrap this one up. This has been a blast coming back, messing with some Tech Reborn and everything like that. I'm excited. Tech Reborn is definitely going to be our kind of like main focus. I kind of wish focus was pulled away from modern industrialization in this pack, as I've said previously. A lot of things have been integrated and kind of forced with modern industrialization. So having the ability to do Tech Reborn a little bit to increase kind of productivity and, you know, speed of which we can get into modern industrialization is going to help out a lot here. But you know, it'll be a thing. We'll get there in probably a few episodes where we'll start looking at the Steam Quarry and, you know, odds and ends like that to maybe get some more machines. But now since we have the mining dimension, it might be an option to start harvesting some ores and stuff with Create, maybe. Might look at that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.